in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is time to do the rear main seal on this S70 NA. So I'm just gonna let this thing roll live, man. So you guys come and go as you please. Check it out later. Later, I'll probably download the video and put it in fast motion so that it's not this long drawn out thing. I'm gonna be working, probably not gonna be talking a lot. I may say something in between me doing the next step, or just say, hey, I'm about to do this, about to do this. And I'm going to try to reverse this camera, set it up. I'm gonna go inside on my computer, make sure the camera is at the angle that I want, and then I'm gonna get started. I went to the dealer and picked up the rear main seal. Like I said, if the job takes longer than 30 minutes to do it, you probably want to get an OEM part, not some knockoff part that may not work. I believe my tool is in Lemonade there. I got the key to go in there and get that. I'll grab that later when I get the engine out and the transmission and separate them. Pull the old seal out. I'll go grab the tool, put the new seal in. And I'll probably take a lunch break. And after the lunch break, I'll come in and drop the engine back into the car. I'm not going to be moving this camera around. I don't have a camera person. Nobody's volunteered for that. So it's just what it is. So it's probably too boring to watch. I understand that. Don't watch it. Just do what you got to do. But I'm going to go ahead and set this up to do a live presentation of doing the rear main seal. And again, I may go back later and do a fast version of it after I download it and do it that way. So let me go ahead, set the camera where I'm going to set it, which is a phone. I'm going to go inside to check it on my computer, make sure it's at the angle I want, because I'm probably not going to be able to see it. I may be able to see it and get started. And I need to get started. I'm probably an hour and a half behind the time I wanted to get started. Today is supposed to get about 86 degrees. Shouldn't be too bad. If I start feeling uncomfortable, I'll probably get a fan out here. I normally dress in black clothes when I do this because you get oil and stuff on you. It doesn't show up as much as staining the clothes. So that's where I'm at. I got tools spread out everywhere, so I'll be going and getting tools and doing jazz like that. So let's get started. See if we can get this thing turned around and in a position where it's comfortable for people to watch. Uh, do 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 do. It's already not where I want it to be on this, I guess, mount I have here. But I think that's probably going to be good enough. As long as it doesn't fall over. Doesn't look like it's focused on anything unreasonable. So here we go. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do, I'm also burning a video for my TikTok channel. For those of you that don't know, I got a TikTok channel that I do different stuff to, really mentoring stuff. And my other phone is mixing that video so I can upload that. So I may take a break and upload that. But the first thing I'm going to do is pop open the hood. This car is nice and cold. I'm going to pop the little center caps out. I got to pull the axles. So I'm going to break those center nuts loose on the CV axles. Pull the wheels off. Jack the car up before I pull the wheels off. Put it on jack stands and just keep going from there. So let's get cracking. Cracking. Hopefully, I got a cherry picker that I borrowed from a neighbor. Hopefully, I could get this car up high enough to get under it and everything, and then get it low enough to get the engine out. That's sometimes an issue with pulling engines with these cherry pickers. I already see my hood is at the position where it wants to hit this light when I jack this car up. So I'm already kind of at a disadvantage here because this light is installed in the way of the hood. Didn't want to pull the hood, but if I got to, I will. So Let's see how that turns out. Let me get a screwdriver and get this center caps out so I can break these lug nuts loose. I think I have enough room to get both of the axles out. I cleared some stuff off of this side over here. I purchased this car for one of my viewers that was doing a lot of work on it himself, and when I picked it up, I didn't know it. A lot of the suspension stuff actually had loose bolts. It was really a dangerous situation. I probably should have checked that stuff out before I drove it, but I drove it. And then I sold it to my buddy here, Willie Gilly. He wanted a sidecar for other things, and he drove it from California to Vegas. Probably a dangerous situation, but he made it here, thankfully. And we've been getting it back together since then. So let me get a battery on this. See if I can get this thing cracking. This don't look like his newest battery, but heck, let me see if I can find his newest battery. This looks like a pretty new battery. It's dated 2017. I wonder if the other one's newer. Ugh. Nope, it's dated 2016. I wonder if he even has a new battery. These batteries are so expensive. People don't normally buy new ones. I don't see a new one. Probably should put some ear plugs on, but let's see if this can break this bolt loose. Here it comes. Man, I wonder if he's got some ear protection around here. This thing is loud, loud, loud. I probably got some ear protection in my luggage, but and it's out. Man, you should see the dirt that's on the ground by this nut. And that nut is hot. Let me get the other one on the other side. It's coming. Whew. Oh yeah, that's the hard part. Getting those nuts loose. Let's break these other nuts. I'm going to use a breaker bar. Break these loose. Avoid some of the drama. I see the cars rolling. I put wheel stops behind the back wheel on this side. Car's still moving a little bit. So I need to tighten those in, see if the parking brake works. You want to push down on your lug nuts. No reason to use too much of your strength on stuff like this. Pushing down is the best use of your body. Now let me go in here and set the parking brake. Tighten up these wheel stops. These wheel stops are plastic. Probably better to use metal ones, but you use what you got. So I want to catch all the fluids. I'm going to drain the transmission fluid, which is fresh. I'm going to drain the coolant, which is fresh. I'm going to capture that stuff and reuse it because I don't want to waste it with new stuff. So let me find my brand new drip pan that I purchased. Bought this brand new drip pan. Cost a couple bucks. Make sure it ain't cracked already. Some of this cheap stuff broke when you buy it. Just making sure, because this is going to be transmission fluid going back into the transmission. And I'm going to do the same for the coolant. The coolant's not as critical as the transmission fluid is. So I'm probably going to put this transmission fluid in here. I don't want to contaminate this transmission fluid, so when I get it in here, I'm going to put it somewhere where it'll be out of the way and less chances of it getting contaminated with anything. So I think I'm going to spray some cleaner in here or use a cleaning wipe and just clean this out just a little bit better. Make sure I don't have any contamination. He's got some Clorox wipes here. Clean out the container for reusing the fluid. You do not want to contaminate transmission fluid with anything and put it back into the transmission. This transmission is a delicate item that everybody wants working. Now, if you got a manual transmission, it don't matter that much. But an automatic transmission, that thing is delicate. You want to keep the fluid clean and get that stuff back in the transmission, nice and clean. So that's cleaned up. Let me go ahead and jack the car, get the wheels off, and this transmission ready. So I'm going to drop the fluids, pull the wheels, axles, put jack stands under it, and just start ripping stuff out that I need to remove to get this engine and transmission out. I'm going to pull the engine and transmission out together. I'm jacking the car up right now by the subframe. I had an accident a month or so ago. I was doing this with a vehicle that had a IPD and a skid plate on it, and that was a disaster. The jack slipped off the IPD and a skid plate and busted the radiator. This car has a brand new radiator, so we don't want to do that. I should have watched my video last night just to make sure I went over everything that I need instead of winging it here. But looks like I'm gonna wing it. Got that jack staying where I want it. I'm actually going to go up another notch on this jack stand. Make it more comfortable for me getting under it. I think I'm up 2 notches on the jack stand. Ugh. You know I got the CV axle bolts all the way out. You never want to move a car with the CV axle bolts out because that destroys the wheel hub. So right now, the car is resting on the jack stand. Let me pull these tires off. Oh. Man, that socket's still hot. Got both tires on. Car sitting on jack stands. Now, I mean, the first thing I'm doing is getting these CV axles out. So, I'm going to leave everything on and undo the anti-sway bars and maybe the caliper so that I can pull the caliper out of the way and be able to swing this knuckle out because I'm going to take the knuckle loose. It appears that this anti-skid sensor, the plug is broken. So that came right off. I'm going to massage it out of this bracket. Because I don't want to damage it moving this around. So that's hanging. Next I'm going to, I think it'll be best to go ahead and pull this brake caliper off. Take it apart per se. Take the 2 dust plugs off of them. Put those where you can find them later. Right next to the wheel bolts. And let me find the tool I need to take those out, which should be a 7 hex. Here's my 7 hex. Let me put that where I could probably find it later. Find a ratchet wrench. Tool bag there. These should not be in too tight, but people do put them in tight. Not too tight. I break stuff loose because I don't like breaking stuff loose with my Henry. Let me go find Henry. Henry is charged up, got all 4 lights. All right. I got those out, I believe, far enough. Now I need to get a screwdriver. Pop these springs loose. And again, I'm taking these out because I'm taking loose the knuckle to get this, I don't know, I'm trying to collapse the piston a little bit on the caliper so this comes off easy. These brake pads are pretty new, so there ain't a lot going on here. A lot of room for this. There it is. I need to get a bungee cord or something to tie those on there. And I see the brake hoses have cracks on them, so it needs brake hoses. I'm going to leave that there. Let me go ahead and get these loose, which should be a 17 and an 18. And if you can get a impact in there, that makes all this easier. $17 and $18. I'm going to line tools up along the front of this workbench over there so I can find them later. And I'm going to use my breaker bar to break them loose so I don't have to deal with all that noise with the impact. Then I'll use the impact to spin them out. Use your body to kind of walk it up, push it up with your legs. One down, one to go. You do not want to reuse these too often because these are stretch to yield bolts. I actually had a pair of these bolts break on my daughter's car while she was driving. Of course, she had to pull over, park, because she had no bolts holding her knuckle to the car anymore. Loose, nice. All right. Here's the other brake pad. Now I try to get this. Oh man, this CV axle is stuck in the hub. I usually try to grease those before I put them in. Now I got to tap this one with a sledgehammer. Got a sledgehammer around here somewhere to get the CV axle out of the hub. You want to put the nut back on even with the end of the bolt. Got a sledge here. Can't remember if it's a 2-pound or a 3-pound. Look like I've scraped off the marking on it. I want to call it a 2, but it might be a 3. Think it's out. Pull this bolt back on. Still not out all the way. Alright, it's this out now. So I normally try to put a little grease on the splines around here, so if I ever need to take it out, it'll come out easier. Now I gotta find a pry bar, which I do have. Pry that out of there. I gotta get under it, so I'm gonna put this little blanket under me. Hopefully it'll come out easy and it won't fight me. But before I do that, since I don't want to lose any transmission fluid, I'm gonna go ahead and drain the transmission into that pan. I got a tool around here somewhere I've been using for that. I've actually used that tool a lot in the past couple of weeks. And now I don't know where I put it. Let me find me a 24 millimeter. Here's another option, a 15/16 socket, same as the 24. I might need a little extension, which I don't see either. Let me look for that real quick. Got it. Let me get under here and drain this transmission. Now this will get about half the fluid out. The torque converter will still be full of oil. Man, this is actually not easy to get this at this angle. I really need my boxed in wrench that I have for this, which is around here close by somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, I'm at a disadvantage here for my tools. Yeah, let me see if I can find my boxed in wrench real quick. Ugh! This is kind of crazy because I've used this boxed-in wrench very recently. Oh, I got a box of tools around here somewhere. I don't know where that box is. What did I do with that box of tools? Guess what I found? The proper tool for the task at hand. Oh man, I got a piece of my puzzle under here too. Somebody gave Diane and I a puzzle to build. I think really Diane gave her something to do in her rooms while she relaxed in the room. And that puzzle has pieces in different places. Let me pull the dipstick so this stuff can flow a little easier. I'm actually going to pull this cowl because I'm pretty sure this mount at the firewall is tore up. And we're going to replace that too while we're at it. bad as I thought. Maybe we won't remove that, but we gotta replace this one. This one's definitely tore up. I don't need this thing drained clean. Oh man! I don't know how I missed the bucket. Probably when I pulled that dipstick, it squirted out over the drip pan. I got a mess under here that's humongous. I had to clean that up. Remove this jack. Wow. Let me get a magnet, get that bolt out, put that back in. You try to avoid making messes. And I meant to put my tarp under here before I pulled this bolt out, and I forgot. Huge mess. At least a quart of this oil is out on the floor. What a mess. Wow. See, this is a delay that I wasn't counting on. A mess delay. I'm going to sacrifice a couple of these rags here. Oh, man. I don't even know what to do with this, because I need to wring these out and pick up some more of this stuff. And I can't put it in a container that I'm going to reuse. Serious mess. Wow. Big mess. I think I'm going to wrap those up, put them in the trash bag, throw them in the trash. One thing I have a lot of is trash bags. Somebody had trash bags that they didn't want. They didn't like the odor. So I scooped those up. Let me roll up these rags and get them in this trash bag. Then I'll throw this tarp down in case I have another catastrophe spill. Now this floor is painted, so this should clean up easy. And I have some of that cat litter granular oil absorbent stuff here. So I'm going to put that down before I put the tarp down. Try to get a jump on drying this up. Wow. Man, it almost came up with 2 of these microfiber tiles. Costco specials. I think you get 20 of those maybe for $12 or something. Wow. Catastrophe number one. Now I need to drain the coolant into a container. I was going to use that same container. So let me pour this into the bucket. I actually have a transmission fluid container here with some transmission fluid in it. I'm going to try to get it in there. Can't even get my thing open. My hand is so slippery. Pour that fluid in here. This is actually the fluid that it is. And see if I got enough to service the transmission. If not, I have to go buy a quart of that. Ugh. This is not as clean as I expected it to be, this fluid. This is after a third flush. And it's a little dirty. Transmission shifts good as long as you don't put any pressure on it. But with that torque mount tore out, I don't know if you should expect anything else. I think there was a half a quart in this jug. So all of this should go in here. When you drain the transmission, you get out about 3.5 quarts usually. And then you put back that amount back in. So all right. I don't know if I got 4 quarts there, but I at least want 3.5. So when I reservice, I got 3.5. I'm not sure how much came out, but we'll see here in a minute. If I got 3.5 left. Oh, where's the lid to that? I'll knock that over, have another mess. I'm gonna wipe that out and put that coolant in there. All right. Oh, it looks like I might have 3.5 quarts. I'll double check that when I go to reservice it. I'm not going to mess around with that too much right now. But let me wipe this out, dry this out, and drop the coolant in here. Because I got to disconnect heater hoses to get this engine out. I don't even know where to put this. You really don't want your coolant getting oil in it because it will brown up on you and make people think you got a blown head gasket. That's why sometimes it's better to have 2 people when you're doing stuff like this. One person, it's easy to make mistakes like this. Stupid little mistakes that's not really costly in anything other than time. It costs you in time. I think this is, hit something slippery on the floor. It'll dab the transmission fluid over here. Alright, time to open this up. Drain my coolant. Let me get my tarp spread out under here. I use this tarp to carry dirty stuff in the car. When I'm transporting transmissions and stuff like that. And this is good for putting under the car when you're doing dirty jobs like this. And this thing is so dirty, I'm gonna keep it half. I think it's too dirty to live. There we go. That spill would have been averted somewhat had this tarp been down there. Looking for my 13 millimeters so I can bust this bolt loose on the bottom of this radiator. Get that out of there. Shouldn't be much more than snug. Splashes a lot. Throw your funnel in there like that to reduce the splashing. Undo this cap in here so it flows fast, or as fast as it will. While that's draining, I'm going to try to get this CV axle out of here. Let me put my light on. My head, go under here with this pry bar. See if this thing will pop out real quick. I got a soft pry bar. I'm going to try first. If this don't get it, I'll grab the big pry bar. Man, this transmission is laying on this bump stop here. This pry bar may not reach this thing because of the subframe. Pop right out. Thank the Lord. The other side, you can pull out. You don't need a pry bar to pop it out. Let me get a glove. Still sliding around on this floor. This very minute amount of transmission fluid over here. I dropped one drop over here and it's slippery as crap. Looks like my TikTok video finished processing. So I'm gonna upload that real quick. That should go fast, I hope. Yep. Let's go ahead to TikTok and upload that. TikTok, good Lord, these people. This is by far my longest TikTok video. All right, let's see here. Next, please. Yes, sir. Mm-mm-mm. Sad situation. I'm posting a video about a little story that I experienced this morning. A guy sitting on the side of the road, and I think the guy lacked some maturity and he needed some more. It is what it is. All right, let me make sure this posts. In the meantime, while this is posting, I'm going to put some soft music on in the background, which may disturb my video flow. I don't know. Maybe I won't do the music. Let me get this other axle. That seems to be kind of in a process stuck position here. I don't know if that's going to post or not, but we'll see. Most of my videos on TikTok are 2 minutes or less. Occasionally, one will go a second or two over 2 minutes. This one is 9.5 minutes. That much of a story. Anyway, let's get the other side over here. Get this axle out. All right, it looks like it's going.
Yeah, I got 4 kids.
It's going. Think I got everything to get it out. Man, this coolant is draining slow. Slow. Got the spring off this brake clip. Take the dust caps off of the brake caliper bolts. I'm leaving the brackets pulling the caliper. Forgot to grab my ratchet wrench. My video's uploaded 6%. Caliper didn't want to come on. Hose on this side is split. It's off now though. Alright, unplug this ABS sensor. Never had success with these dang on ABS sensor wire tabs coming up enough to get this sensor unplugged. There we go. And that one is not broken. That's a good thing. Pull all the slack off that wire. Now I'm trying to get these bolts out of this nut. This looks like it may be a Volvo CD axle over here. One bolt down. I need to see if this axle's stuck in here again. The last one was. And this one seems like it is too. So let me grab the nut, the sledgehammer. And tool to protect the threads on this thing. Yeah, that thing does not look like it's going to be coming out anytime soon without some persuasion. FedEx. There it is, folks. In position. Tapped it till it stopped. Probably should clean off the threads before I go back in on that. That's a mess. Get this lower knuckle bolt out. Man, that caliper tried to jump off in my hand. It's so excited to be loose. Had it hanging on the strut here. May not be a good thing, but it is what it is. Just got to make sure you're not hanging by the brake line. It's good to have little bungee cords holding those up so they don't fall off while you're working on this stuff. Anyway, we tap this through a little bit more. Alright, I think we may be in a position where this may come out, this axle. I'm going to get the 212s out of the courier bearing, and then I should be ready to slide that thing out. Find a 12 millimeter. I don't know if I got a 12 millimeter unless I went and bought one. Because I was using Gilbert's 12 millimeter for a while. Here's one, but it needs a short extension. Let me borrow a short extension from someone. Somewhere being Gilbert's toolbox. Most of his tools are craftsmen, and like none of my tools are craftsmen, so this is a good work here. Actually, I got one or two craftsman tools, not much. Oh man, I can't believe this coolant is still slowly coming out. This rear main seal has made a real mess down here. I'm talking real mess. I don't know if I've seen as much of a mess as this one's made. It's made a real mess down here. And oil leaks destroys engine mount. So alright, I got the courier bearing out. That goes on really one way. Now, down here, another thing I want to do. Oh, let me get this axle out first before I start doing anything else. Ugh. Nice and easy because it's greasy. See the axle's out. Now I'm going to take this torque arm bushing off. It's got two 18s and two 14s. I need 14 millimeter boxed in. Then I'm going to take these two 14s out of the front of this engine mount on the front. And the engine will actually rest on it. I will go ahead and pull the bolts out, set them where you won't lose them, and the engine will rest on it. I don't think you have to worry about it. Now you can get some kind of clamp, fold this panel up here. Now I'm looking at this harmonic balancer. It is in bad shape. It's got chunks coming out of the harmonic balancer. This may need to be replaced sometime soon. So let me get my 14 impact, get these two bolts out. This mount up here is starting to sag too. I don't know why, but it's probably just old. I thought it was in better shape, but it's wearing. Let me get that 14 socket, impact socket. These gloves are getting dirty. Anything you touch under here with all of this oil, it's just going to be dirty. I'm going to go ahead and change gloves. Give my hands a couple of seconds to dry up. And get this 14 here and this 18. I already got the 18. I just need the 14. Then I need to find a 14 box. This 14 socket will work as well, but you don't have a lot of room for it. Thought I had 14 socket. There it is, 14. Already got a 12 under there. Do. Hey, I got matching tools over here. You really should have a 14 box that's not ratcheting, because the ratcheting one takes up more space. Gilbert's got several over here, but no 14. His 14 is misplaced. So I'm going to try with this socket. I got a bigger socket around here somewhere. Trying to finish everything under here. Here's that big 14. Alright, let's see how this goes. Get another set of gloves on here. I'm going to check my battery juice over here. Make sure I'm not low on battery. I'm still at 61%. I'm going to show you guys how much oil's down here on this rear main seal while I'm doing down here. We lost Wi-Fi connection for a second there, but this is a lot of the oil down here coming out of this rear main seal. Let me put this back up here, since I know my battery juice is still good. All right, I'm gonna go down here and get these mounts loose. Alright, I got both bolts out of this front mount here. I got to get these two 18s out of here. Out of this transmission torque mount. Whew. Dirty, rusty. Like sandy stuff fell off of them. I'm going to set those where I can find them. I'm putting a new mount there. My radiator, I think, has drained as much as I needed to. I'm going to have to disconnect the transmission lines from this thing. I forgot to put the granulars down under there for the, what's that thing called? Absorbent material. Just took this 12 out of here for those hydraulic lines that get in the way of this other deal here. Oh man. Oh, the bolts are super tight. Those 14s. I don't know why they're so tight. But it's an engine mount. I guess people think it's gotta be super tight or it'll fall off and crash the car. Whew. Here's that transmission torque mount. And it's not as destroyed as I thought it was, but it's getting there. So now under here, I need to remove, I'm gonna leave the AC compressor here. So I need to take the AC compressor loose, take the serpentine belt off, hang the AC compressor, and take the two mounts loose that the engine land on. Let me get this coolant out of the way first before I spill this coolant. I don't know if I got a bucket for this coolant or not, but I can at least move it out of the way. I think I do have a bucket for it, but I may not need that bucket. I think moving it out of the way may be enough. Let me slide it over here. Then I'm going to close that coolant drain if I haven't done that yet. That is fresh Volvo coolant. Probably don't have 2,000 miles on it. Yep, I screwed that closed. So let me get these engine mounts from under the bottom. But before I do that, I'm going to drink some water because I'm in the desert. All right, there's two 14s, I believe, in these bottom mounts. Get those out. I got extensions of those. And impact gun. The back one's hard to get. I got a deep 14. I wonder if that'll reach. Yep, it reaches. Let me use it. Nice. Come right out. Now let me see if I can get the one out the back. Usually the anti-sway bar is in the way a little bit of that back one. So I may have to use a different tool to get the one out the back. But, gotta reach back here and try. Sometimes people take that mount loose from the top and leave it on the car. Leave it on the subframe. The mount is actually bolted into the steering rack. And this will unbolt it from the steering rack. Man, I forgot I gotta get the exhaust manifold off of here. That sucks. there's a joint on the exhaust manifold here. Oh man, ugh. A lot of stuff to take loose, get an engine out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need a union to get that thing. Got a little pivot on this socket. I don't know if that's enough of a pivot, but we're gonna give that a shot. Come right out. Looks like I got oil or coolant on this mount back here. That's really strange. I also have a, look like sensor plugged into this mount. Oh, that broke. I was trying to get it unplugged, it broke. I'm gonna spray some PB blaster on these nuts on this exhaust manifold and see if that'll come loose for me in about an hour. So I can leave the exhaust manifold on. And coolant hoses, man, those heater hoses look like they could be replaced. They look old. I'm gonna try to unplug those from the firewall junction without breaking the firewall junction, which is difficult to do. Firewall junction is kind of messy. Ugh. Alright, anything else I need to do down here? Yeah, I need to spray that with PB Blaster. I see WD-40, I don't see PB Blaster. Let me check my box outside. Yep, I got a mini PB Blaster. Let me see if I can get this on those exhaust bolts without drinking all this stuff. Ugh. And you gotta get under here pretty far to see those. All right, I'm gonna let that sit about an hour and come back to that. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to disconnect this. Man, this pipe on the back of this water pump is sweating. That sucks if that starts leaking. All right, let's see here. I got a coolant leak. Maybe that's what's causing it. At the bottle, the hose going to the bottle is leaking down here That sucks. But let me take this AC compressor loose. I gotta get the bolts out of this AC compressor so I can leave the AC compressor with the car, and I need to get this fan out of here. So let me take the fan out first, because that's going to give me room to get some of this other stuff out. Take the throttle body cover off. Take the air box off. Disconnect the throttle body. You want to leave that here. Focus on getting this fan out first. For those of you that's joining live, just joining in, I'm pulling the rear main seal, pulling the engine and trans out together. So I can get the rear main seal out and replace it. Right now I'm taking the fan out because that'll give me more room to get the other stuff. That 8mm. My adapter, speed up this process. Big thing would be remembering where you put everything. I gotta get the battery and battery tray out. Disconnect the battery. Get it totally out of the way. Pull the battery clip. If you folks don't know how this goes, watch that video. That's too easy not to know how that goes. Battery tray gotta come out. Might as well grab that tool. Unplug what attaches to the battery tray. You gotta have the room to lift this out with the transmission on it. It's 8 down there with the cruise control pump connects to. And a 10 holding that clamp on there. The battery tray clamp. can't leave that down there, so reach down there and unhook it from the battery tray. Take the battery tray out, probably clean it off outside. Now get the air box out. That out of the way. Air tube off. That's actually got a 7. I think I gave my 7 away. Yep. Had 2 7, gave both of them away. Now I lost my favorite 7. Salvage yard 2-step jets. I think using a 7 is quicker than a screwdriver on these clamps, air tubes and stuff. Let me get this air tube out of here. This stuff out of the way so you don't damage it. Next, pull the air box. This thing still has an air pump on it. It's got a zip tie on this hose up here. I don't know if it's going to solder with that zip tie or not. Yep, went over the zip tie. That's good. I'm going to put my 212s back in this frame of the car so I don't lose them. Unplug and pull this air box, being careful not to damage this vacuum and flapper down there on the bottom. People ask me about this vacuum all the time. Something just popped off and disappeared. I'll find it down there on the top vacuum line goes to the vacuum tree. The bottom vacuum line goes under the air box over to that port right there. So that's where that goes, in case you were wondering. I'm gonna pull this bracket loose for the brake booster hose, and I gotta unplug that brake booster hose somewhere, either at the intake manifold or at this joint. To me, it's hard to get loose from the joint. I don't know why. I'm just not good at that. That thing is very hard to unplug, but it needs to be unplugged. I'm going to unplug the P&P switch, I guess. I'm trying to figure out what I did with the harness here. Let me get this fan out of the way. Take the stuff the rest of the way off this fan. I got this. I don't know if I need to unplug this or not. Actually, I probably could have left that there. and just unplug this purge valve. I got this SAS pump harness here. Let me unplug that. Get that out of the way. Alright, got another plug going over here. Fan power. Alright, got that harness kind of out of the way there. I need to unplug this transmission, these transmission lines. Let me get this fan out of here. I said that a couple times. Power line for the fan. Got the harness coming over here. Get unplugged from this. I think I'm going to unplug the harness, leave it on the car. Alright, I think the fan's ready to come out. Undo the ground wire. Back to line to it still. Here's the fan. Alright. Man, I feel like I got so much elbow room now. Take this little cover off the starter. Got a pin down here I don't want to have. Nice. I could unplug the knock sensors since this is a 98. So yes, I'm leaving a harness with the car. So I'm going to unplug this air valve. I'm going to unplug this vacuum here, fight it loose, and ouch. Oh, let me get this thing loose. This is the last thing I need to do. Try not to bust my elbow in the process. Man, that thing is not like coming loose. Let me stick a little screwdriver up in here. Pick. Get this hose loose. Good Lord. I guess this thing formed some kind of connection. Oh, see, it's trying to come out here. Oh my gosh. I said the CV axle nuts was the hardest thing. I'm about to take that back. I'm gonna get my pick. Because this wears me out every time. I'm putting this pick through here in a couple different spots. Hopefully this will help this thing come loose. Yep, got it. Man, that was a pain in the butt. Tore my glove. Alright, so I want to leave the linkage from the transmission with the car. I guess I want to leave the coil wire with the car. I'm going to leave this wire harness with the car. So let me undo the wire harness for this P&P switch. The plug. Alright. And it's got a little clip over here. I'm going to take this lower radiator hose off like this. Get it out of the way. I could take it off the back of the engine, but I think I'm going to take it off the back of the engine, get it out of the way. I don't want it in the way. I'll take it all the way off here in a minute. I'm going to take a piece of tissue and put it down in the intake manifold here. The throttle body inlet tube. Just to stop stuff from bouncing down in there. And unplug the throttle position sensor. I got quite a bit of oil or something. Yeah, quite a bit of oil on that throttle position sensor. This PCV must be sucking in oil. Alright, I got an SAS pump line going back to this tube here. I'm going to take that off and I guess pull it out with the engine. That thing sucks. It's got some kind of clamp on the radiator hose, which is ugly. I don't want to break that clamp. Alright, I got it loose. Let me get this. Got the battery cable loose. I'm going to take the B cable off the battery cable. Leave that with the car. Take the battery cable. Well, actually, the battery cable will stay with the wire harness. So I don't have to take that loose, but I do need to take this shifter cable off of this transmission P&P switch. Oops. Almost broke the clip. probably should be using my pry bar. Bushing on this thing is a little worn. I'm gonna put that clip back on there so I don't lose it. Alright, I think I got two 13mm bolts on here. It's a 14. Where's my 13? That's a big 14. I had a short 13 here, but I got another 13 somewhere. These 13. Nuts are normally 13s. Bolt heads are normally 12s. Well, we'll put an extension on that. Couldn't get down on that nut ring. Alright, now you can hook this shifter cable up and out of the way. Hook it on something, tie it up, something. Keep it up out of the way so when you pull the engine up, you don't get hung up on it. I had a couple more wires here. I took my headlight off, but I need to put that back on. I think I'm ready to disconnect this coolant hose, so I'm going to put the container back under there to catch any coolant that falls off from me taking this coolant clamp loose. This coolant hose off of here. Put my light back on because I need a little bit more light. Ugh. Whew. Should have had my glasses on for that episode. Had about a half a cup of coolant just splash out of that thing, which sucks. But it is what it is. In my face, halfway in my mouth. I think it's best to get this hose out of the way. You gotta get it out of the way of them transmission bolts anyway. So, oops, 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 oops. Coolant's coming out on that pipe on the backside. Lost about a half a cup back there. Ay, ay, ay. That's a little mess. Not bad. Little mess. Oh man, that coolant on the backside is running down that oil, rinsing into my coolant bucket. That sucks. Now I got oil in my coolant bucket. It is what it is. Guess I'm gonna have to disconnect the fuel rail wire harness if I'm taking this. Because that'll stay with the car. Take that screw out, move the clamp, put the screw back. I'm also going to need to leave the throttle cable here. Pull that clip out. Screwdriver for that. So this throttle cable broke. Alright, so let me go ahead and get this fuel rail unplugged. I'm gonna have to take the fuel rail loose. That's gotta stay with the car. Let me grab the screw for that. The fuel line anyway. I think that's a 17. I seen a 17 over here. Little bit of fuel leak out here. You want to open the gas tank so it vents the fuel out, and I don't have a battery hooked up, so I should have opened the gas tank earlier. You don't want heat expansion from the gas tank continuing to pump fuel out of this fuel line. So I need to take this fuel line loose here, take it loose from the back side of the engine. A 10 millimeter back there, and it's a T25 on top. Bracket on the back. T10. And you got two ground wires on the back of the engine. I'll just pop those loose. Make sure you don't lose the screws. I'll put them back in the hole in the engine. Do 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 do. All right, this starter wire loose and unplug this knock sensor. Ugh. And the knock sensor's gonna come apart. Take it out of the bracket. There it goes. I gotta take this power steering bracket off. This tree just keeps growing. There's a bracket holding this crank sensor on. Crank sensor's unplugged. I gotta unplug the cam sensor. That's the one that's normally deteriorated. But that one looks good. Cam sensor unplugged. Now I gotta unhook the bracket from the engine because it will not stay. I've never been good at this. I guess I need to get better at it. I don't know how this comes off of here without a big fuss. Without breaking something. That's code for big fuss. Without breaking something. Alright, I just push it off there. We'll do the same thing on this one. Open up the grab clip. Keep the clip with the harness. All right, I didn't break either one of them. How about that? All right. I'm gonna try to take this hose off the SAS pump. Let me get this coolant hose out of here. Radiator hose. Clamps off a bit both sides. Alright, I need to get the wire harness out of here. So I'm going to leave the O2 sensors with the exhaust and take them off of the harness. Use a small screwdriver. Unhook them from the clip they're hooked to. And then work the small screwdriver in there to get them unplugged. And unplug them. One down, one to go. Mm. Two down. Those two sensors unplugged. Now let me undo the wire harness. Looks like a 10 millimeter from the transmission. Well, something's fighting me. Maybe it's this bolt down at this end. Oh, need to get this off of here sooner or later. B cable. Well, this gummed up when it come out of there. Alright, anything else stuck somewhere? There's a little bit of cable there. A little bit of a clamp on the back of that wire harness loom cable thing. Let's loosen that. That's a 14. So that's a 12. That's a 12. I need my 13. 13! There it is. The wire loom is loose. But I gotta get this tube loose from this air pump. I don't know how to do that. It's got a clamp on it. I need to get this wire loom loose from the starter and from the mount. So let me do that real quick. I need a deep 13. Had a deep 13 somewhere. I need to find it. Just drank the rest of my electrolytes. I'm gonna borrow Willie Gilly's Deep 13. Gloves are destroyed. I'll take those off again. Deep 13. Pair of gloves. those, put them on. Probably a good idea to put something on the shroud here, because that thing in a bad something. Tore both of them, put them on. We got another pair of glove box here. These gloves are supposed to be better. Need to try those. Something's got on my face, it's burning my face. These extra large gloves are tight. Alright, these seem like they'll last longer. And this starter wire loose. Ooh, looked like there was a washer on there when I pushed the wires off that washer. Went 7. Oh, I see it down there. Let me go ahead and put that back on. That's the front to the heater hose. Alright, so there's a couple of 10mm screws here. Attaches this wire harness to this clamp, to this engine mount. This engine mount's going to come out with the engine. So I get this wire harness off of there and move it out of the way. Oh man. Well, my tool was a little bit too long. And it got jammed in the starter. Had to pry that out. Now I got the wire harness off of there. I'm going to put the screws back in the mount bracket. So I don't have to look for those later. They will be right there. This screw seems to be damaged since I had to force it out. Looks like I'm going to have to force it back in. Top of this mount. Yep, but that's okay. I don't mind. Just a little holding bracket screw. Something went sailing across the room here. Well, that's the lock nut that's supposed to be on the starter. I don't see where that other screw went for that bracket. So I'll have to deal with that later. And I got this wire harness coming up to this alternator. I need to take it loose from that. And this temp sensor. And this AC compressor. Let me get this coolant hose off up here. Oops, that was tight. Should be loose now. Thing has all these mixed up hose sizes on it. Clamps have the spines there. But I don't have clamps, there's nothing I can do about it. Little cool come out of that hose. Not what I expected. Still don't have a rag across this thing to stop me from getting fiberglass in my arms. towel or something. Good Lord. Alright, where am I at here? Oh, I need to get this bolt loose from this alternator. I get the cap off the back of it first. That fell down. Need to put that nut back on there before I lose it. Dipstick's in the way. So let's get it off of there. I'm gonna put a little piece of paper towel or something in the engine so that nothing goes down in that dipstick hole into the oil pan. Do 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 do. Alright, and unplug this temp sensor because this is part of the wire harness. Trying to get the plug off the bracket without breaking it. Hooray! Now try to unplug this. Oh, the plug just fell apart. Unplug this. Alright. This wire harness should be loose. Other than this little AC plug. Let me unplug the AC plug and we'll be good to go. Alright. Alright, we got a ground on there. Oh, we got oil sensor. Oil pressure sensor. We need to unplug that. Unplug the ground wire from there. Unplug the ground wire from there. And this harness should be loose from this engine. Be careful when pulling this wire harness out of the way that you don't damage the vent for the transmission. That can easily be damaged. Careful with that. dipstick out for the transmission. Get that out of the way. Putting that bolt back on there. Now I gotta get this hose off of this SRS pump. Get my side cutters, get that clamp loose. Side cutters and clamp. Alright. Work this tube off in. The mount on this pump is rotted out. That came loose relatively easy. Easier than I expected. That tube was more flexible than I expected too. Try to get this wire harness out of the way here. Transmission sensor was still plugged in. Let's unplug that. And this wire harness out of the way. Let me get this ground wire loose over here by this knock sensor connection. Oil pressure sensor. Should be at 12. Oh, there's a clamp there and there's ground wire. Got the ground wire bolt loose. Put it back in the block. But I need to get that clamp loose too. Clamp was a 10. That comes out from around these power steering lines. Unplug that sensor line. Now I got a ground on the block under the starter. Need to put some tissue in the hole in the transmission. Where did this come from? Promise you, this has got to be the busiest cul-de-sac in the country. Need somebody selling crack down there. All these cars going down this cul-de-sac. Mm. Some guy even stopped here, approached me. Man, I ain't got no cracks. I said, get away from me. So the bolt that goes in the bottom of this intake manifold is missing. I guess it wasn't there when I replaced the intake manifold gasket a couple months ago. All right, now it's time for me to get these 14 millimeters out of here. On these, what's this thing called I'm trying to leave here? AC compressor. And I need to get this starter, this power steering pump assembly. I need to leave that here too. So I need to figure out the few screws to get that loose. Let me do that first. I see a couple of screws, 12 millimeters. Get rid of this extension. Let's see if that helps. Not really. Now, one bolt now. Can't reach that bolt. Maybe I put a pivot on there. I'll be able to reach it. I might have to take this thermostat housing off. I can get it. Ouch. I think I got it. I didn't have the torque to remove it. Let me find my normal ratchet wrench. Yeah. Let me take the top of this thermostat housing off. It's got the wrong screws in it anyway. I probably need to get those out of there anyway. T40. That's a craftsman tool, my T40. Probably don't even want to see what's in here. Probably the thermostat. Got them both loose, that's a good thing. I don't know if we put this thermostat in here or not. I just don't want to see an aftermarket thermostat. And there's an aftermarket thermostat. Probably the best aftermarket thermostat, but aftermarket thermostat nonetheless, which I despise. Aftermarket thermostat. See if I can get this bolt out now. Not really. Still need that union. Still need that pivot. Still can't really get on it. Nope, let me grab my box then. Wherever that is. Well, I don't see my 12 box then either. Had it a couple days ago. $10, $14. Probably in that box. That box of tools over here. Found my D13, but not my 12. Willie Gilly's got a 12 here. Box 12 from Willie Gilly. Found my D13. Hard to put that 1/4 inch on it now. Do I got a 1/4 inch 12? Kind of sort of got a 1/4 inch 12. Nope. Thought I brought a 12 over here from Willie Gill. He got a rack of tools over there. Yeah, let me grab his rack. Got a rack here. Little extension on there with that little pivot. That'll come right out. Just trying to speed up the process wherever I can. And I need to take the serpentine belt off, this cover for this thing. So. Would help if I had the 11 socket on there. I'm sorry, the 12 socket instead of the 11. But let me get this serpentine belt off. Do I even have the tool for that? Or did I sell all of mine? Gotta find that. Oh man. More drama. Here it is. Found the tool, gotta find the pin to hold it. I gotta cut myself a pin to hold it. Probably shouldn't be cutting this off, but my glasses on. Found my glasses. Found my glasses and some vice grips. Get the vice grips, need to find my glasses. I know where my sunglasses is. Let me go get those. Just as well for cutting stuff, sunglasses. There it is, folks. The pin I need. Stick this in to hold the serpentine belt open. Put this tool back. Serpentine belt. Back to that. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull this box first because that'll make getting the serpentine belt that much easier. Let me get a real screwdriver here. Alright, pry bar will work fine for me. Well, screwdriver will probably be quicker. there. I think that's a 10. Get these ECUs out of the way. TCU for transmission. Now I get this serpentine belt out of the way really easy. Do. I think the 17 is probably perfect on that. 12, I guess. Yeah, it's better than 18. Yep. Alright, get that held. This serpentine belt off because I need to get the power steering pump out of the way and the AC compressor left here. I don't know what belt that is. It's a Goodyear belt. It's kind of got teeth on it. I like that belt. Get it out of the way so I don't damage it. Get it off the ground. Now I'm going to take this out of the way. Serpentine belt tensioner. Timing belt cover was in the way a little bit of that. I get this out of here, which I think is just those couple of bolts here. Oh, there's a bolt still over here. And it is a 12. Really not good because it rubs against the intake manifold. So we gotta take that off long way. Unless you got a pivoting 12 millimeter, that'd be perfect for this spot here. And I don't know if 2 bolts on this side, 3 bolts on the other side, and this bolt off the top hopefully will get this off and leave the bracket on there, because I need the bracket on there to lift the engine. Alright, here we go. Try this up here. I don't know if this bracket will cause problems with that or not. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. We'll get this 13 off down here. Oh, that's a 12. On this side. Top of the alternator. Alright, power steering's loose and out of the way. Now I just need to get the AC compressor loose out of the way, this top mount out, and I'll be ready to start lifting this thing up out of here. I think everything else is disconnected. Oh, no, I got the transmission line, so let me go ahead and hit these bolts for the AC compressor. Got to leave those here. 14 millimeter. See how tight somebody put these in. Ah. Let me see if this impact gun will reach down there. I got 2 impact guns. Smaller one and a bigger one. Ah. Almost. I'm close. A little bit more. Almost there. got that one. I don't think I can reach that bottom one. That bottom one's always hard. Got it. Got it with brute strength. I got those two down below, going the other direction. Might be able to get them off from the ground. I usually get them in here with a pivot and an extension. And let's see how this goes. Got a couple extensions down here already. Almost forgot I had the exhaust hooked up down here. Need this. Get the AC compressor loose. Top one loose. Got the bottom one loose. Try to rip them up with this tool. It'll reach in there. Now you don't get this tool stuck in here. I'm gonna try to put a short one on there, long extension. I don't want to get this tool stuck in here. See where my socket went to. My 14. Doo-doo-doo. Not tight. I just need the short socket to rip it out of there. Burrow Willie Gillies. Well, the Gillies missing the 13. Put his 12 back. Get my pivot long extension. I think you're already down here. I don't see the pivot. Oh yeah, I got it in my hand. Pivot, short extension, long extension. Get it on here. electric tool. A lot of dirt came out. That doesn't matter to me, but all right. Got both the bolts out. The AC compressor is loose. AC compressor bolts. Alright, so I need to get this exhaust manifold loose. I think I'm gonna need a 12 to do that. And I got a mess down here, so I need to get my coolant from under here and dry that up. Whew. Get my coolant from under here, see how dirty it is. Man, I'm gonna have to strain this coolant. Pretty dirty. It don't have a lot of oil in there, surprisingly, even though that coolant washed down the oil. Very little oil, but a lot of dirt. I'll strain that. Got a strainer somewhere. Let me get this exhaust manifold loose. Let me mop up this coolant down here first so I can get down here. Won't have to lay in coolant. That was the clamp off of that SAS pump. Ah. I'm surprised all the dirt down here. I got more dirt down here than coolant now. Wrestling with that wire harness. Looks like wire harness dirt. Crumbs off of those little wire harness thing. I got this pretty much dry. Move a lot of this dirt out of the way. So I'm not laying in a bunch of dirt. Now I sprayed these exhaust manifold downpipe bolts with PB Blaster. Let's see if this stuff comes loose. That's the hope. Let me get this blanket repositioned and get under here. Trying to get the exhaust manifold loose. Ugh. See if a 12 will fit. Probably 13. I got dirt in my eye already, just looking at it. Yep, 13. Ouch, my eye. Tried to knock the dirt off my eye and made my eye hurt worse. Probably need to get up and deal with that. Yep, one broke loose. Looks like I'm gonna have to put a pivot on a couple of these. Yeah, let's try to strip the bolt. Let me get a pivot, get this dirt out my eye, get some water. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna take a break, get some water, get this dirt out my eye, and get a power bar. I'll be right back. All right, I gotta get this power bar open and get some water. I've already drank this water. Let me see if this thing's still recording. YouTube hadn't shut me down. 2 hours and 53 minutes. Still rolling. How about that? Let you guys see, hopefully, this rear main seal.